And away we go, and look at that signal strength. How about that? How about that? Because we're doing it somewhere different here tonight. So let's see what we got up here with these guys. Oh my God, he's got a bone. Oh nuts! Oh nuts! Look at that. And we are rocking.
Nobody's saying anything. You're gonna have to get that away from him, though.
Oh come on. We try. Oh God, we try so hard to get everything and everyone set up, and then Xena blows a gasket. She's got a bone and she's dragging that around. How are we, guys? I'm betting we're pretty good here tonight. We've changed it up. So 5x5. Yeah, we took some advice from herding chickens when he talked about having a couple of mobile jetpacks. I never thought about that for some reason. That ours expires after we can't do very much with it, and so we called Verizon. And we got two of those expensive son of a bitches right there. I will tell you, those little bastards are expensive. And it's 5G, but we don't have 5G here. But when we do get it, in like the next 15 years or something, I'll have it. But I went all over the house. I don't know why I didn't do that with the old jetpack. And I found that right here has the highest hotspot. I got like 4 bars. So that's why we're doing it here.
Bassett's on here. He's got Buster, his little Pomeranian, watching with him, and they're looking for swimming pool ideas.
Oh boy, they were what, $500, $600 a piece.
I think it was 600 for the both of them, 6 or 650 for the both of them. I think.
No, it wasn't. It was double that. I was clear with her.
Well, I'm telling you that's what it was, but if you think you know more than me, then you just go ahead, but you don't know shit about stuff like that, so it was $650 for 2 of them. You want to stop and call the Verizon people right now and see?
On that note, I don't know if our subscribers here that was upset with me about the way I talked to Diane, who is quitting the website. He's had enough. Did you just see what she did to me? This is what 40 years does. And I mean, he was pissed off.
He does not like the way you talk to me, and I don't blame him.
And he has kept track of when I do it and wrote down what I do that upsets him. But the straw that broke the camel's back was that last video with Oswald, where at the end of the clip, he is talking about these couples. This couple
that fight
over his book, and it just shit just pops in my head. Somebody had sent me that as a text message of that guy punching that girl in the face, and I just put it on there. He didn't like that. He thought it was a reference to Diane or something, and the guy pulled 3 pairs of pants off. If you can't see that that was staged and that he never punched that girl in the face, I don't know what else to do. I don't know if you guys have been on YouTube and the Kim video, Kim Il-jung, but there's been some guys chastising me for fake news over that bullshit that I proclaimed that Kim Jong-il whatever is dead, that I am confirming it for a fact, and all the stupid shit that I do up there, and some people have let me up for false news. It's called comedy, bro. It's me. So, I don't know. Other than that, I hope he doesn't leave the website over that dumb shit, because you can hear the way she talks to me. And outside of that, I'll say this. That was a mean dinner you made me tonight.
The calamari wasn't good.
Frozen calamari from
the Gordon Fisherman.
The Gordon Fisherman, frozen calamari. She throws it in the oven, 2 boxes worth of this shit, and that's what I get for supper tonight. I know we're in the middle of a lockdown, but anybody that gets on me about no way.
And not only that, not only did they. Greg Scott's telling you to shut up. That cannot be Greg. That's got to be Caleb. But anyway, So everybody's mad at Don about putting out false information saying that Kim Jong was killed or dead, whatever. And so then I started getting phone calls from North Korea. Several from North Korea, and some from South Korea. I mean, I don't answer it. I'm just spam, but I'm like, holy shit.
It comes up as
Now
North
his
Korea.
big mouth is going to freaking get me killed from somebody in Korea. Oh.
And he's dying for me to answer the phone, whoever it is, because he keeps doing it. And I'm like, okay, it's just a spoof number. They can do that. But, yeah, people are after me about that video of North Korea. So,
Have I ever wanted to punch him? Oh, I have wanted to punch him, and I have punched him. So many times I've punched him. I've hit him with all kinds of shit. Skillets. One time in San Diego.
Warrior.
We're going to have to put them out, Tom. One time in San Diego, we was in our apartment, and it had this big window, and the UPS man was walking down to deliver us a package, and I was mad at him, and I just was going to act like I was hitting him with one of them wrenches that's got one of them ball things on it.
A ratchet.
A ratchet. That thing fell off of there and broke that whole window. Glass went everywhere. That UPS man turned his ass around and run out there and quick.
Yeah, we've had some interesting things here. So it is the honey murders. Punch him right now. Go ahead.
What?
Yep, spoofing the caller ID. Of course she would. Of course she would. I'm more than a head of hair.
What?
I want to know if you'd be with me if I went bald.
No. I like bald men, actually. I like bald-headed men.
I got a funny head for being bald. I got a cone head.
You got a big-ass head and
I got
a
a
big
melon.
nose and a
I got
big
big
head.
melon. So, yep, that's right. So, and then what else? So the Don Juan thing, somebody asked how that Don Juan thing came up. I don't know how it came up. Zena, for God's sakes. All right, why don't you go put them out? At least open that door.
Okay.
I've been trying to get a hold of that clown for a long time and had about give up. And I checked my phone. I had a message on there. It was him. And he said, fine, but doing the interview, so for all the right reasons, the way I'm doing this just keeps me, when you accept an interview.
Oh, God. Now, there's a boat coming down the water. For you guys that are just on here the first time tonight, we live on the water. And so anytime that a boat or a jet ski comes down, they feel the need to protect us. I'm going to go through the screen door and let them in.
Coda. That's his river out there, and that boat is not welcome on it.
That's right.
So anyhow, I get this text, and it's him. And I have minutes to react, because if you don't, the message has been a couple hours old. If you don't jump and strike, and so I played to his greed card. I didn't know I'd give him a hand. We do the radio thing. I had come up and created that thing in minutes. And I would say any guy, any good, intelligent guy, when he gets in shit and you give him just a few minutes alone to think some shit up, he will think that shit up. And so I just thought that shit up. Right? And just went with it. And I don't know, a good friend of mine at Team 2 never walked past me a day without calling me Don Juan. And my brother-in-law does it. Mm-hmm. And then, I don't know, there was something, I think it was a movie I saw. Oh, God, she's got an ice cream cup now. I don't know. Well, that's where it came up, and the rest is history for that guy. So, I don't know. I don't keep after him. I've done enough. People have done enough. There's no backing out. It's done. So let it go. You don't want to be pushing too hard. But I never email, never contact them. I never do any of that stuff. And I am so stacked up with phony seals. It's amazing. I already got them, and so we'll release the next one, which is a guy I already did. on here who just got out of prison and saw that I did him, and now he is mad. He is mad. He's a convicted sex offender. He just got released from prison. His father searched his name, I guess, to see if he's showing up in the sexual registries in Nebraska, and he is. But then he also found the piece that I did on him, and he's suing us. He's suing us. You're going to love this guy. He is upset, and he has got his shit together for me. He's locked and loaded of why I slandered and defamed him and how that was all bullshit. And I'll just say one word. You ready? Mm-hmm. Halloween. I'll get that up, and then I interviewed the son of a father. This is how bad this is. If you guys don't know, let me steal this again. I hope I'm not getting this too awful bad. Bill Frogberg's boyfriend. Ryan Job was a SEAL, made kind of famous on the movie American Sniper, where that Iraqi sniper shot and hid his gun, but the shit deflected up into his eyes and blinded him. And it was the whole Chris Kyle thing, and them going back to pay them back for shooting Ryan. And Ryan climbed endless mountains. He was indestructible, being completely blind. And Ryan died on the operating table after endless surgeries to correct his vision. And the only reason Ryan joined the Navy and became a SEAL was because of his fucking fake father, Eric, who he introduced to everyone as my father, the Navy SEAL. Ryan never would have died had he not followed in his phony father's fucking footsteps. And I went after him too. And so I just got that with this boy today, or a couple of days ago we did it. Josh is going to be on here talking about his phony father, who I went after in a big way, and you've already got the video. And then it comes up again today. Some gal asked me to verify one person she knew was legit and whether his father ever was. And I said no, and she went. And I related that story about Ryan to her. And I think it's the same thing. That boy became a SEAL because of his phony-ass fucking father. And, when you look into the stolen valor, it gets to be a very deep subject when shit like that happens. And how many good guys never became SEALs because they hear these bullshit stories of letting women eat rats and just this insane stuff that is not true. And
Greg says Oak Island's fake.
Who?
Oak Island is fake. Greg said.
I'm going to get on roll about fake shit here. I'm going to relate a story that pissed me off last night. But, hi, buddy.
I want to show you guys this.
Take it over.
Ray Ellis on the site sent us this. I don't know if it's getting too bad of a shadow on it.
No, it's beautiful.
It's absolutely gorgeous. This beautiful painting. It's absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much. Now, tell me what kind this is. You were telling me before.
You shot one of those.
I did?
The only duck she shot down at Stumpy Lake. I took her hunting. I got a picture of it. It's a widgeon.
Oh, wait, let me show you one more time. Isn't that pretty? Damn, I'm going the wrong way. The feathers and stuff on it just look so real. It's beautiful. Thank you so much, Ray.
They're beautiful ducks, and they are...
That's a beautiful painting.
They are beautiful ducks. So, yeah, you smacked one. Stumpy Lake with me. I took you out duck.
I remember shooting a duck. I just don't remember what kind it was.
Oh, I do. I'll never forget. But I try to get her out here hunting with me now, and it doesn't work. So.
You just like to go too early in the morning. So I'm going to get my daughter. It's my granddaughter's first birthday. And she had this big birthday party planned. And of course, this coronavirus, there cannot be a party. So she's going to come down and spend Mother's Day with me. She's been in lockdown up there just exactly the way that we have. And we live like pigs. We've got 2 labs and 2 Pomeranians in here. And any given corner on these hardwood floors, you can just take your hand and grab a bunch of hair. So when you have a little girl that crawls on the floor, it's time to clean. So I've been shampooing carpets and cleaning all day long so that my little granddaughter can get around in here and start crawling around. So having grandchildren will make you be a better housekeeper, I guess. That's what's happening to me.
It ain't that bad. We got a Roomba.
We do have a Roomba. We got two Roombas.
We run that sucker, that's for sure. So,
Don's Airline. That's his call sign. Don's
Leap
Airline.
That's right. Yeah, Pepsi. Okay. So I'll tell you what else pissed me off. And it was somebody kind of a little bit close to me. And it wasn't Greg, but Greg's about to get it for calling Oak Island fake. There's too much shit that goes on. There's too much history. And Greg's just pissed off because I'm an Oak Island fan. Like ever, it's the #1 rated show in the country. But I heard the word exaggerated yesterday from someone I'm pretty close to about this whole coronavirus that came in contact for not an afternoon, not an evening, but for 2 fucking days over a person I really like a lot. And I went fucking nuts. I don't know, and I'll only tell you this about that. And I used to get it all the time with the YouTube videos. And I would do them for Extreme SEAL, and the guys going in rooms, and the guys the way their kit was, and SEAL pictures I would put up, anything. And I know so many of you right now are not listening to me at all. You're looking at this room. You are studying absolutely everything I'm wearing, she's wearing, what's on the wall, what's going on around here. You're looking. It's called attention to detail. And if anybody thinks that coronavirus is exaggerated, they're making more of it than what it is. I would just tell you, where's CNN? Where's MSNBC? Where's CBS, NBC? Where are the news outlets all over the world, investigators and journalists that have not caught something by now? That this is a blowjob, it's exaggerated, it is all that. How about I tell you, nobody. Because it's not. And anyone that would call that exaggerated is walking through this world in rose-colored glasses and listening to that fat-headed idiot, Alex Jones, and endangering people that I like because you think it's being made more of than what it is. And so I went nuts the other day. And then some fucking guy right after that gets after me about my new phony SEAL of the Week video should be the guys that claim they killed bin Laden. That I should go after all the SEALs that falsely claimed they killed bin Laden because bin Laden was dead 6 years before that.
That's what he said. That the SEALs never did it.
Well, that's been a conspiracy theory out there. I tell you what, might not have firsthand. I guess I do. They fucking killed that guy. He wasn't dead 6 years ago. And when I asked that guy, I was like, so let me get this straight. Those guys fly into Pakistani airspace and deliberately crash a helicopter in a compound where they know that bin Laden is not there just to keep that guy's up? Is that what you're saying? Really? And he starts quoting me, Alex Jones, InfoWars, the World Trade Centers, all this other stuff. And I realized you're just a bucket-headed fucking idiot listening to a guy that makes a living lying to you about all this stuff. So I guess if you guys wanted, and he was all on because why would they throw him off of the back of an aircraft carrier? Well, his fucking head got canoed. That's why. And if you don't know what canoeing is, fucking Google that shit. And they were not going to plant him somewhere that he could become a martyr. They threw him off the back of a fucking aircraft carrier. They gave him a Muslim burial and threw him off the fucking back of the carrier. And anyone to think that those guys did not go in there specifically after him and get him, that he died, say, I don't know where these things come from. And the Alex Jones thing, the lies that people tell and believe. And I'm on a roll, Ann.
I'll make you some chicken fried steak. And Maston, I'm so happy to see you back on here, honey. And Pep, yes, the Roomba goes around the furniture, goes underneath the furniture. There's a couple of places in my house that it gets hung up on. I have a big, huge refrigerator with metal on the bottom, and it gets stuck on there. So before I even start it, I put a bottle of booze or something, a thing of dog food in front of it. And sometimes it gets hung on the bottom of the dishwasher. Same thing, I put the trash can in front of it. But I couldn't live without it. And you still have to clean. But on a daily basis, just to know that if somebody pops over, you don't have a shit ton of hair on your floors, I could never live without one again. And we started having problems with one before, and even Dawn was like, get on the internet and order another Roomba. It's they're just amazing. It's amazing. And the dog hair, of course, is worse right in here because this is an open concept kitchen and living room, and this is where we spend most of our time. But all the dogs sleep in my bedroom. But they're not in there playing and running and stuff. But man, when you hit power and that thing goes underneath my bed, oh my God, it's embarrassing. Looks like an animal's living underneath there. It's terrible.
Now, they're real easy to clean because the wheels get a little bit, but they only got 3 screws on there. You lift the whole thing up. The screws don't even come out. They are designed to stay in there so you can't lose them. And you have to move it around sometimes. You move it into the hallway a little bit and do a lot of that. But that thing will suck some shit up.
No, Don doesn't use gel in his hair. No, he doesn't. I don't know why anybody would want to know, but they do.
I tell you, man, I just dump shampoo on my head and scrub that shit, and I get the hell out of there. And I am not a foo-foo kind of guy. I rarely wear Surefuck, but when I do,
ooh,
it brings on the ladies, man. Foo-foo juice, Surefuck, whatever, man, whatever.
Yeah, Donko wanted to know. Yes, Donko, we are going to be on YouTube for a few minutes after this. We're not doing it often, but people were really happy to see us on there. And because everybody has just been in quarantine and stuck, there's not shit on TV. And I think that people enjoyed being able to, I don't know why, but see us and just something different, so we're going to hop on there. They want after me
about Kim Il-jung. Kim Jong-il.
I know.
No, we'll do 45 minutes on there. We'll get off of here at the 15 minutes before and then get on there because somebody had mentioned the rifle. No, I have not shot the rifle because I don't have a suppressor for it. And to get a suppressor, I'm not going to shoot it here because it's fucking turkey season. I'm going to have this guy on tonight. This guy is the guy that built the rifle. And that's Blaine Campbell. He's an XSF guy. And he owns Chi-Tac. He bought that, but he owns Campbell Firearms. He custom builds these guns. And I've got a lot of guns. But they all come straight off of the line. And I would tell you, if you guys have that capability, for once your gun wet dream is a custom built rifle, somebody that's actually building that thing, and that's what he does. So I owe Blaine a lot. I'm trying to get him a good start. He owns those companies, but he employs a lot of military dudes, cops, Dev Group, Marines, Army, SF dude. So I got him on YouTube tonight. So we're going to start that at 7 o'clock. And then Blaine's coming on. He's going to talk about that rifle right there. But he makes the suppressors. That gun is so heavy. I can't wait to shoot it because I know there's not going to be any recoil at all. But that trigger, I mean, it's one thing I've never liked is the folks that say when you pull a trigger on your gun, it should surprise you. It should surprise you. If you've shot that gun any amount of times, you know exactly when that trigger's about to go off. That's a stupid thing for anybody that's shot their gun more than 3 times. But that is the hairiest trigger I've ever seen. The slightest, I think he said 2 pounds. I don't even think it's that. And that thing is going off. That heavy ass gun, steady. That bullet's going down range, so I can't wait. I've got to get the suppressor for it, and I can't get the fingerprints right now because we're locked down.
Karen, it's a former Buds 131. If you type in Buds 131, it'll say that it doesn't exist anymore. So it's former Buds 131 on YouTube.
I don't eat morals. I won't eat mushrooms. I find out there. I know what you're talking about. No, I don't. I don't
What?
mushroom hunt. Somebody's asking about eating morals. Did you find any morals in the woods near
Oh
you?
my God! Somebody in Tennessee just found some that were absolutely huge, and I don't know. I forget how much money, but it was a shit ton of money that they got, and one of them was like, like that. If that's the kind you're talking about, sort of cone shape. But there's a family in Cambridge that actually has a mushroom farm, and I just saw it on the internet day before yesterday. They're getting ready to open up our farmers market that has been shut down this far because of the virus, but they were opening it back up, and they just sell all kinds of mushrooms, and we like those little shiitake mushrooms and different things. I like them.
Huh?
There used to be a show on TV
Yeah.
where people were out in the woods.
They were getting up the worms and the thing. They were getting the eels. They were getting the cancers off of trees, and they were getting the mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
They would do all that in the show. It was a pretty interesting show, but it went off. I guess once you see a guy dig a bunch of worms out of the mud. But,
Yeah, Greg, I saw the video of the fox hunt.
yeah. I'm glad the cops weren't out there with a breathalyzer for that thing. There was some shit going on. Nuclear subs, yes, I have some. And nuclear subs, I wonder how anal they are right now. Because when I was dealing with it 20 years or plus ago, anal about that radiation. So we'd get this big briefing shit, and we used to have to wear this dosimeter every fucking where we went. And at the end of your time, we would do the submarine lock-ins, lockouts, and all that shit, operations, everything. They would test your dosimeter to see how much radiation you had. And the guy that was there, we were doing this in Puerto Rico, so the detachment was there in Puerto Rico. He was a lieutenant commander. He was a Vietnam vet. He was a steely-eyed bat. He was so nice and so friendly. He was on there just kind of watching how the platoon was operating on this sub. And he took a shower the night before, and we popped his dosing, because you're not even supposed to do that. That thing never leaves you. And he had hung it up, and we took it. And when they came to collect those, the doctor on board and checked those things, he didn't have his. And you ain't leaving. I don't know what they would do with you on that sub if you lost your dosimeter for real, but you're not leaving. You're not getting off of that thing. And he was in a flippin' panic. And we had it. We finally gave it back to him. But yeah, they take that shit serious, that radiation on board and all that other stuff.
Lineman's saying that those mushrooms are $45 for a fourth of a pound there.
Well, I don't know. I don't.
And in one, I probably have had the same mushrooms from Mexico. Probably.
I would do this. I would do the survival course for the guys, and we did a good job of really what you can eat. All kinds of grasses, clovers, weird shit like that. Pine trees, you can eat a whole fucking pine tree. Dandelions, simple things. But we never got into that, because when you're in a survival situation, you're looking at 3 days. If you can hang on for 3 days, most people are rescued from that being lost in the woods type of stuff. That you don't have to resort to eating that crazy stuff that really can screw you up if you're not careful. So all the guidebooks and everything else. I don't hunt for those mushrooms. Too many of them look the same. But people that really know. I mean, I'm not an expert. That's why I don't do it. You guys are the experts out there. Yeah.
But when we were really young, we had a full-on farm with cow shit and everything, and Don ate some mushrooms that grew in cow shit one time, and he got sick. He just wanted to see what would happen to him.
Let's give it a whirl. Scrape the dung off of it and give her a try here. Speaking
But
of
he
dung,
didn't tell me. He snuck down to the barn, and I guess he didn't want me to know. And I went down there and I said, "What's the matter?" And he said, "I'm just going to tell you, I hope I'm okay, but I ate some of them mushrooms that grew in that cow shit." And he said, "I'm feeling sick." He thought he was going to get him a good buzz.
hunt for gentis. Pep. I don't know what he's talking about. Mushrooms or something. It was if that's what you're talking about. It was a show where they were gathering bloodworms out of the mud, and some of them would get the cancers off of a tree. I forget what that's called. The big.
Looks like a beehive growing on the side of a tree.
And they would make all kinds of really decorative stuff. They were real big. The guys that would get mushrooms, and there was the guy that would catch eels and sell the eels. So.
Oh, I tell you, I would love to come to Ireland. Clever Trevor. My mother-in-law has got Irish blood, a lot of Irish blood. That's where a lot of people in her family have red hair. But that was her dream trip, was to go to Ireland, and they went, and she just wouldn't be quiet about how gorgeous and how beautiful it was. It was absolutely the trip of a lifetime, and I would love to go. Ireland and Scotland, one of my best girlfriends is Scottish, and all the pictures and everything, and listening to her talk about it, those will be two of my favorite places to go. And I'll let you buy me a Guinness if I come, even though I don't drink beer. But I'd drink a Guinness if I was in Ireland.
That's right. Diane and I watched Naked and Afraid.
Yeah.
I
Who
think
wants to know?
I think it's amazing what those people do for 21 days.
But did we tell?
21
They
days.
asked me and Don.
Yeah, we've been asked.
They asked us to go on Naked and Afraid. Now I'm going to tell you, I drew the line at that shit. Being naked on national TV is not anything that you all want to see. I promise. It's not. But we got asked, and I was flattered.
No, I wouldn't do it just for the suck of it. I've done enough sucky things. I think Survivor. Whoa. 39 days of eating that shit and putting up with the likes of you. That's a tough show. You guys really think about it. I don't know if they let it on how really tough that would be. I can't never get past 39 days you're out there dealing with that shit and rain, the elements, the bugs, all of it. Very, very hard.
But the Naked and Afraid thing,
21
you
days.
can see their ass and their legs after just the first night. They're just covered in bites. And I'm not a wussy girl, but I'll tell you right now, I can't stand getting bit or stung. I'd quit the first day just from the damn bites, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's just... Yeah. Why?
And women got crevices. I wouldn't want to be in that water. That old stinky water. I mean, ooh. Well, of course, they ain't out there alone. There's a camera person, but they do have cameras. They film their
that
own
would
selves.
suck.
But
21
Yeah.
days out there? I dealt with shit for 21 fucking days before. I can tell you, that would suck. That would suck. What else we got? Bear Grylls. The Island Bear Grylls. I lost all respect for Bear Grylls when he squirted that elephant turd into his mouth to get the moisture out of it. That was enough for me, man.
an elephant turd?
Yeah, that fucking guy will do anything for a living. But he would, if you guys never saw that, he took that big hunk of elephant shit held it over his head and girded and got all the water out and drank that shit. And I know I've been through a lot of survival courses. I've taught it. I get all of it. There are some things that some people will do absolutely anything to survive. And some people will not. They will fucking draw the line. I'm going to die right here before I drink that elephant piss water. And things like that. And I think everybody should go through learn some of that stuff. It's 3-3-3. You can survive underwater for 3 minutes. You can go without water for 3 days. You can go without food for 3 weeks. I used to teach a lot of that shit under most circumstances.
No, Don had his surgery scheduled, and they called the other day, and because of the virus and everything, it is
Canceled.
Obviously, they're calling it an elective surgery. I don't know how a hernia is electric surgery, but they canceled it.
I'm fine with it.
My mom's doing fine. Don's mom's doing fine, but my mother, the only thing she has to look forward to is my sister goes every day, or at least every other day, and a good friend of ours, Susie, goes and calls every day. And they're being so careful in the nursing home. It's just like a hospital. There's different halls. And it's a nice enough place, nice furniture and my big cafeteria and fireplace and stuff, but they have got it barricaded off. So now my mother can't roll around and roll out on the porch or go to sit in front of the fireplace, the big screen TV. She just has to be in that hall, and it's breaking my heart for her. I can see the decline. Excuse me. I can see the decline in her memory from not having any outside stimulation. Not getting in the car with my sister to go anywhere, to just see things. I can really tell that she's declining, and it's concerning me a lot. There's no sense in me going back to Tennessee because they won't let me in either. But as soon as this ban is lifted, I actually saw a thing on the news tonight, and it was from the governor of Florida. And he was addressing the nursing homes and saying that he understands. He's the one that said it needed to be done. But I guess he has a family member also in a nursing home, and he said it is time to get the swab with the gloves, but to be able to go in and see their family members. And I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely agree, because when you're elderly, my mother's almost 90, and you've got to have that family. You've got to have that. So I think that would be a good idea, don't you?
Yeah, people are really getting fed up with this, and I think they probably should have thought of some other things. I get it, how hard this is on people, because it's...
Well, I think it would just happen. It
But-
seems so fast, and the country and the governors and senators and the president and everybody else didn't quite know what to do and just did the best that they could. And now, in retrospect, they're sort of figuring out that some things could have been done differently. But, it's just a learning curve. Nobody knew in the beginning. Just nobody knew that.
And they're figuring out more to come. We just don't know. See, that's a stupid thing. And then these people are just so... ER doctors committing suicide? And what do you think they committed suicide from? From the horrors of watching those people die? No, I tell you, from the horrors of watching them die without anyone with them. Doing it on an iPad. Holding their hands with rubber fucking gloves on. Give me a fucking break. And you would go out and just jeopardize everyone. I tell you, we don't know enough about this thing yet, and you ain't getting me to do it. That shit ain't coming down here. And I'll do the best I can, but I know it's bad for folks, but boy, you gotta hang in there just a little bit longer. Let everybody. There's been so many mistakes made from everyone because they just don't know.
Well,
It's
my
going back and forth
nephew,
of who's to fucking blame for everything, and I think everybody has been doing just a fantastic job of trying to get this thing going. And make some really good calls, but terrible mistakes have been made, and it ain't anybody's fault. And now is not the time to drop our guard.
I think so too. My nephew Bassett is on here, Garrett, and he works at Bush's, and there's different sections down there, and somebody that worked in his section on his line tested positive, and because his wife is pregnant, she's due to have this baby in like 20-something days. They made him take off work until he could be tested, and the results came back before he went back. And, you know, that's the people that I think about. There she is, first time pregnant, that young wife of his, and she's a nurse, and she has to go to work every day, and Garrett goes to work every day because everybody else is shutting businesses down. But when you're looking at like Bushes and people doing that, they're booming because everybody's stockpiling canned goods and stuff like that. So they have to have their doors open. They have to go to work, and it's just, I don't think there's any right answer except, like Don said, don't rush it.
Well, let's hope it takes all the stupid people out. How about that? How about watching some of those videos where these guys talk about having this ghastly disease for 30 days? It just, and luckily surviving it, let alone getting on a respirator and stuff. You ain't got to hit me over the head with it, but you're
Trevor's just saying on there that it's wiping
all of us.
Trevor's saying that it's wiping out an entire generation of old folks in Ireland.
Yeah, that guy. I read something today from some actress that played in a silly ass movie on MSNBC or whatever the hell it was, and she was talking about a doctor that got thrown off of YouTube because he was touting the herding, that we'd all be a lot better off if we would all just herd up, the herd pack mentality, and let this thing go through us all.
Oh, for God's
sake. I think there's about 70,000 fucking people that would disagree with you, dumb fucking ass, and I'll give it to YouTube. Yeah, it's a good thing they did throw your fucking quack ass off of there. Nobody knows shit to be doing things like that. We're doing fine just staying away from each other. Anyhow, we got to get off.
Hi, Karen.
We'll show you. Some guy pulled up in the driveway yesterday, and he said, you want me to paint your barn for you? And he's the guy that originally did it. And he goes around and he does all these things. That's a big barn, like is in ladder tall. And when we got down, he patches all the starling holes.
With metal.
Restain it and everything. I was like, I just wanted to hug that dude.
Me too.
I was like, yeah.
And we hate it when people pull in our driveway unannounced. Don are not the kind of people that like the drop-bys, but we were happy to see him.
Yeah, so he's done a couple. He did the senator's barn. We couldn't figure out who had done that, but he's going to restain the whole thing, get the barn back up in shape. So we're pushing on like none of this is happening, but we don't know what's going to happen here. Xena and Warrior are working out. Xena ain't a bit gun shy, and I'm firing that launcher that launches those dummies, and that bitch is running out there 100 yards.
We'll get the camera on her. You guys are going to be impressed. I was impressed yesterday. Yep, we better get off of here. I got to pee. And then we got to get on YouTube. Former Buds 131.
Yeah, it's former Buds 131 because they threw me off like that quack doctor.
You are.
There are some people that deserve to be thrown off of YouTube. Not me. I was dishonorably discharged from YouTube for all the wrong reasons. But I'll see you guys over there. Thanks,
bye.
guys.
Bye, Greg.
I gotta get ready.
Bye, Caleb.
Yeah, bye, Greg. See ya, Greg. Take it easy, bro.